KCB and start coaching a team that was not on the top. But now they are number 2.
Yes.
So my challenge is I have to push them from number 2 to number 1. So coming to KCB gives me a new challenge that I have to work on. And I'm happy that come 2019, things will change.
2019,
yeah.
Things will change.
Things will change. And my purpose of leaving Kenya Pipeline also is to create another third force in the volleyball family. So it shouldn't be business as usual, Kenya Pipeline, Kenya Prisons. So we need another third team that brings another force in the volleyball fraternity.
It should never be Prisons and Pipeline only.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, the questions amongst the volleyball lovers is, yes, you are going to a new team, and most of the time, coaches, when a coach shifts team, you normally find that, you go to that team, but there are a number of players that you normally bring in. Are you looking forward to that, or you are contented with what you have at KCB?
I'm happy with the current squad at KCB. I'm confident in the squad that is at KCB currently, and I'm happy that new players are going to join the KCB team from Kenya Pipeline. And
which are some of these players?
I have 3 experienced players from the national team. National team players. We have Leonida Kasaya, Noel Morambi, and Violet Makuto. We have equally 2 strong players also who have been playing for local championship, like the likes of Trufosa Chepkemei and and we have 2 also upcoming players. We have Jemima Siangu and we have Christine Jambi. So those are 6 players that are joining Kenya, 7 players that are going to join KCB to propel KCB to another level.
Let's talk about, the long-time plan. Are you thinking of, developing the young players that you have? I mean, you're going to a team that also has a young talent. Are you planning on developing that so that they may be the people that probably will be seeing in the future represent the club?
The most important thing for a coach is to have succession plan. So as per now, we are going to train those that are coming, and we have to build for a future Kenya commercial bank. So we start with what we have now and what those who are joining Kenya KCB. And as we sign players 2019, we have to include young players on board so that KCB will be viable for so many years.
Of course, that is Coach Japheth Munala talking to us about what his expectations are for KCB in the 2019 season. Remember, it's a team that finished second on the Kenya Volleyball Federation national playoffs that were held here in Nairobi, and they are returning to the regional front after a while. And of course, we have some of the players that took part in the playoffs, and we want to speak to them about, how the journey has been. And before we speak to the players, I want to begin with the team manager, that is Moses Kimani. He has a microphone, so you can give that to Metrin. So Moses, how has the season been for you? How was 2018? Did you see yourself finishing second?
We had hopes in the beginning of the year, and it happened. And what I would like to mention is that mid-year we got a new patron who came with a lot of energy, and actually she gave us a target that we either become number 1, and if it is not number 1, then number 2. And actually that is what happened at the end of the year. The ladies played well, they did all they could, and with the hopes that we had in the beginning of the year, mid-year, finally we became number 2. So it is something that we are fighting for.
You were given a target of finishing either the top position or the second position. Did you, from your point of view, see that happening?
Yes.
Why do you say so?
Because actually we were thirsty of African Club Championship. We've been out for quite a number of years. And the only way that you need to give back to your sponsor is by performing well. We had some talks with players and the technical bench, and we promised that if it is not number 1, then we'll go for that number 2. Then it happened that our new patron, when she came in, she actually insisted Me, I want number 1 or number 2. Yeah.
Now you have a new coach, that is Japheth Munala. The experience of working for the national team, he's led a pipeline to a number of, victories here locally, and also we've seen Pipeline perform well when you talk about continental volleyball. What expectations do you have from him, and what type of experience does he bring into the team?
What I would say is that your guess is as good as mine. Being one of the best coaches that we have in the country, and I would even say in Africa,
yes,
his track record can tell. So what we are imagining is that when we go to African Club Championship, God willing, will be number 1, 2, or 3 at most.
He said earlier on as we were talking, he said that he's finally coming home. Do you feel that warmth now that he's back where he began his coaching career?
Yeah, a lot of warmth. I would say heat.
Why would you say heat?
Because we are expecting a lot from him. And whenever you know that somebody good is coming to your team, then that heat becomes more than warmth. What I would like to say is that when I joined the team way back in 2010 as the assistant team manager,
yes, it's
Munala as a coach who welcomed me to the team. And this time round, I'm welcoming him back, and I know his work is good, so that hotness is going to be shown in the field next year.
So we are going to see KCB explode next year. Of course, let's get to the lieutenants. These are the people that give the results when it matters most on the pitch, and that is Fosca Kasisi, Gladys Werimu, and Metrin Nabuire. Metrin, let me begin with you. The 2018 season, we just saw the highlights and the way you guys celebrated beating Pipeline.
Yeah.
How big was it for you?
It was so fine to me. I was enjoyed well, and I thank God for leading us. We became to be number 1, number 2, and since we start this journey, we are always praying to God to give us more effort, and so that we can become number 1 or number 2. Yeah.
Fosca, the team was given a target, as the team has said. The team was given a target of finishing second. When you guys, as the players, were told that now for this season, we have to finish second or first, how big of a challenge was it for you as players?
It was a very big challenge generally, because, when your boss tells you to meet a certain target, you, as an employee, just have to meet it. Because you might end up losing your job if you fail to meet that target. So the only thing we had to do was to believe that we were good, just like any other team. And prayers. We had to pray so hard because we believed that with prayers can conquer anything. So we were so hard in prayers, and finally God had us. And we met the target. Yeah.
You finished number 2 earlier on while we were speaking, watching the highlights. And also during the volleyball, the national playoffs, when you beat Pipeline, people were like, "Ay, ulikuwa ni kuangukia." Was it so?
Not really.
Not really.
We fought. We really fought, because if Pipeline were to beat us, we could not have gone for the 5th set in the first place. They could have just taken the 3 sets straight, then the game could have died just that way. But we fought, going up to 5th set, and we were just really fighting. Yeah. We didn't just win. No, it didn't. They didn't just.
It wasn't
give
a
us.
fluke.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, of course. Gladys Werimu, also one of the players are from. You have a mic? Yes, Gladys Werimu, who's also from the KCB women's volleyball team. How does it feel that you guys, people had written you off, but you've managed to finish number 2 in the playoffs?
First of all, I want to say, work hard and discipline. That can make you to achieve the goal. Yeah. So we work hard and we achieve our goal, which is number 2.
Which was number 2.
Yeah.
Now, we are heading into a new season that will begin in 2019. And, you know, from a player point of view, how does it feel that now you will be taking part in continental championships, something that has not happened for you guys in a long while? How does it feel for you?
What I say, as me, I feel very great because of our new coaches. So we are going to train very hard so that when we are going to Africa Club Championship, we'll get number 1, number 2, or number 3. We are going to win that cup. Yeah.
Fosca, let me get back to you, and we are still talking about this, you finishing second. You know, from a player's point of view, you know, how big was it for you? And now going into the Africa Club Championships, how do you feel as a player?
Okay, first of all, being number 2 is a very special thing. We have been trying so hard to reach there, but for the past years we have been failing. So that we have gotten this chance, as we will be preparing to go for Africa Club Championship, we believe with our new coach here, we're going to do it because we can. Because he's good in the whole country from where he's coming from, automatically we're going to perform just like Pipeline have been performing good.
So you have a new coach who has all that experience, you know, and as players, how do you feel now that you have somebody who's coming on board with lots of experience, who's, you know, seen the teams that have been under him, you know, perform very well, both locally and internationally?
We see victory.
You see victory?
As for players, we're going to take another step. At least our volleyball is going to grow. At least we might end up going out there to play for another countries. Yeah.
So that is the prayer that you guys have.
That's our prayer.
So now going into 2019, of course, the focus will be on the club championships. That's the Africa Club Championships. And do you feel the pressure that now you guys are back to this competition, that the expectations will be high on your side?
Of course, pressure must be there. And we cannot win easily if there is no pressure. The more the pressure, at least it will make us push ourselves in different ways. Maybe I personally, I might start maybe doing my own training, if not with the coach, so that at least I can meet my target. You know, as a player, you also need to have your own target. At least you want to be in the first 6, yeah, of which is not going to be an easy thing. Yeah. So I have to go hard, more than hard. Yeah.
Moses, you've been in the team for almost 9 years now. You've been in the team for almost 9 years. And I mean, the generational change, you know, older players, younger players coming in. Have you managed to handle that?
It has been tough, especially in the last few years. Actually, since I joined the team, we've been having problems of bringing up good players, and then unfortunately big teams by that time, Pipeline and Prisons, coming for those players. So I would like to say we were like Arsenal, where players...
You develop for other teams?
We develop players for other teams, and then they come and pick the ready players. But this year, changes have taken place in KCB on managerial level. And I think for those other teams that would like to come and poach players from KCB, they'll have to sweat, because what the management is giving the players is something good that I think will be able to maintain good players in our team. And as the coach has said, with the third force being there, then competition will be good. And actually, we think now we are the ones who are going now to be poaching other players from other teams. Yeah.
You have 7 new players coming in, as the coach had said earlier, almost 7 players coming in. I mean, somebody will want to know, how does your scouting work? No, how do you do your scouting?
Okay, right now I think a coach will come with a new style of scouting. But what we used to do is that we used to go to schools, secondary schools, for the ladies who are finished. And in most cases, what we used to find is that Pipeline and Prisons normally used to go there before us, or they had good convincing words to be able to take the players. But as I've said, things have changed. We have sweet words now, and we'll be able to bring better players.
So do you feel like now this is the change that the country needed when you talk about volleyball? You know, upsetting the status quo that we've always had for a long while.
You are quite correct. This is the change that Kenya Volleyball Federation needs. Because when competition is of 3, 4, 7 teams and it's tough competition, then the level of volleyball goes up. And I think, to me, normally what I see is that the level of volleyball, maybe in the last 2, 3 years, has not been that good. Because, as you know, the 2 teams, Pipeline and Prisons, were the best that time. Ask any other volleyball fan, he'll tell you that championship,
it's either going to
Prisons or Pipeline. Come next year, no one will be able to predict which team is going to win.
Which teams are going to win. Now, Gladys, I mean, you have younger players in your team. And I believe, you know, we also have some old and experienced players. You know, how easy has it been gelling together? You know, when you have some young players come through the system, it's not normally easy, you know, coping with the most experienced players that you have around.
I've been tough with them. So, first of all, prayers. Prayers lead us together, and I say, you respect me, I respect you. If you don't, anything can happen.
Fosca, with new players coming into the team, what type of challenge does that push to you?
No sleeping. I just have to remain focused, beating my dreams, even if I'm eating or not. Because it's not going to be that easy in the first place. Everybody wants to be in that first 6. So they should also come knowing that where they are going, there are people, of course, who beat them. So they should know that we are good. It's not going to be an easy journey, but they should also accept us, just we have accepted them, and know that we're going to compete to be in that team, all of us.
How easy has it been for the young players in your team?
Of course, it has not been that easy, because once you are someone, you are that young, coping with the mature people, at times it's that hard. But now, because we are so simple and we are so social, they always find it easy.
So 2019, as we wind up this interview, 2019, what should Kenyans expect from KCB?
The best. We're going to be the best.
Are you going to do a double?
Yeah. From number 2, we are going to number 1. We're very optimistic.
You are that optimistic. Let's go. Metrin,
Yeah.
are you also in content with what she's saying, that 2019, it's all going to be KCB? Yeah. Why? Why do you say so? And Gladys, of course, as we wind up this interview, 2019, what should Kenyans expect from KCB? Are you going to handle the pressure that comes with, you know, having a new coach, finishing second or on the log?
All things will be okay. Performance will win the game.
You are going to win. That you are assuring the Kenyan and volleyball fans at that.
Yes.
Of course, Moses, as we wind up, you've been with the team for a long while. Now, is it time, you know, finally for you to be counted as one of the best?
Yeah. As our players have said.
Yes.
First, we put God first.
Yes.
Then, with the experience that we have with the coach who made us became number 2, and with the experience of the national team coach, and now the head coach of KCB team, then things are going to be different. And with prayers, I'm sure we are going to be number 1. Yeah.
Okay, if you may pass the microphone to Munala as we wind up. Of course, expectations are very high from you. What do you tell Kenyans?
Okay, my first task is to make sure that the team is gelled together. The coming players from Kenya Pipeline and from you are still recruiting.
Yes.
Whoever will come as new to KCB, we have to
Yes.
get the team together.
Yes.
And make sure that we work as one.
Yes.
And work hard to make sure that KCB tops the league and is a first record within the African Club Championship.
Of course, thanks a lot for finding time to come. That is Japheth Munala, the new KCB head coach, and Fosca Kasisi, Gladys Werimu and Metin Abwire, who are some of the players that took part in the national playoffs where KCB finished second, and Moses Kimani, who's the team manager. Thank you for finding time to come and talk to us. Now, the National Chess Championships comes to an end this afternoon at right here in Nairobi, and the stakes are high. Remember, the winners will be pocketing more than 200,000 Kenya shillings. Earlier on, Kelvin Kimathi was in Parklands here in Nairobi and filed the following.
The competition has been very competitive. I had done adequate preparation before through hard work. So I'm seeing the fruits of my hard work.
Last year you finished third. This year you've now clinched the title. What do you think you improved on in terms of skills, concentration and all that, comparing with last year's performance?
Okay, I decided to work on my middle game, which was my major weakness. So that's what I've improved on since last year, since also the World Chess Olympiad that just concluded in October. So I've been practicing on that, and I hope to get a medal in the All Africa Games. That's also what I'm working towards.
Talking of All Africa Games, I understand they will be held in Morocco next year. Looking at the Kenyan team and your game so far, do you think that maybe we stand a chance of performing well in that competition?
Yes, we do. We Kenyans now, we are training. We have materials from people. We have access to books. So we will perform very well and we'll bring home medals.
This is the toughest competition. It has never been this tough. We are very nervous because we don't know what is going to happen after this round. But as chess players, we hope for the best, because you have to be tough as the game gets tough.
Comparing your performance last year and this year, where do you think maybe you've improved on?
I've improved on psychology. My chess skills have improved also. I've generally improved compared to last year. Right now I'm able to play with a pool of strong players, and I feel very okay about it.
Now, if you represent Kenya in the East African Games, do you think that maybe we stand a chance of winning something, maybe a medal in the Africa Games?
Yes, I believe I stand a chance to win a medal. I've been practicing this year very much on a daily basis, so I highly believe I stand a chance to win a medal.
Of course, the National Chess Championships taking place at Parklands here in Nairobi. We'll be updating you in a subsequent bulletins who comes out as the winner of those championships. We have to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, Joe Saina and Salim Waziri are in studio. We'll be talking about the English Premier League and what to expect from this evening's match, that is Liverpool taking on Manchester United. Remember, we also have your throwback moment and also your top 5 moments of the week. That will be after the break.